I'm Eric Perrette. I'm a lead horticulturalist and lead designer here at Powell Gardens, and today we're talking about pest management. What was it? At home, there are several pests that you may have on your house plants or outside even, and some of those are aphids, mealy bugs, thrips, spider mites, and scale might be the most common pests you might have on your plants at home. And so there's several ways you can manage those. Some of those you could just wipe them off with your hand or a glove or even a toothbrush or anything like that. But aphids, they breathe through their backs. So what you're going to do is some people use soapy water with a little bit of mineral oil in it, and it basically just clogs up their breathing hole and that kills them virtually. Or you could just wipe those off. Now aphids are born pregnant, so they can reproduce very fast. So they will get out of hand if you do not control them quickly. And they're typically on the newest growth because it's easiest for them to eat on. You can also tell if you have aphids without seeing them is if you get some like mildewy sap on your leaves, what we call honeydew, and that's kind of an indication that you have something going on. So then look for your aphids, typically maybe on the underside of the leaves, sometimes on the stems. There's several different kinds. There's orange kinds, there's yellow, there's black, there's green, all different kinds of aphids, but they all work the same. Mealy bugs is where you see a bunch of white cotton things on your stems or on your flowers or your leaves. And so, but you might look for the bug that actually kind of looks like a real flat, fuzzy, roly-poly. And with those, you can take some spray water with a little bit of alcohol in it and spray them, and that should take care of them, and then wipe them off. But mealy bugs, you have to keep on that because they're hard to control because they reproduce in the soil of your plant. So you might think you get them all, but you may not have them all. So a week later, you might have a whole nother batch. Scale are basically little bumps. They may not look like insects. They may look like little bumps on your plant. And those are very hard to control because it's like a protective shield on their backs. So you basically, what I would do is just smash them and wipe them off. Spider mites are typically on the tips of your plants, on the flowers. It looks like there's webbing all over your plant. And if you look really closely, there's tiny little dots and they're tiny little bugs. And what those do not like is water being sprayed on them. So if you take them outside and just continually just wash them off, they will not like your plant because they don't want to live there. White flies are exactly what they sound like. They're itty bitty little white flies that fly around when you brush the leaves of your plant, and then they fly around. To control them, again, put them in a windy spot and they won't like it either, and eventually they'll fly away. But to control them, they lay their eggs on older leaves at the bottom of the plants. So turn your plant upside down, take off the leaves. You might see little eggs on the bottom. Basically just stop the next life cycle, and then you should be able to control that. Do not spray the oils and the alcohol and then put them in direct sun because you're gonna end up burning your leaves. So if you spray soap and oil on a plant, let it sit for 5-10 minutes and then try to wash it off if it's in the sun. Like if you have it in your window, it's gonna burn up. You don't really need to buy the chemicals that you get at the stores, even though they're over the counter and they're safe or they're organic. You don't necessarily need them if you're managing your plant properly. A healthy plant also has a natural defense against pests. So if your plant is healthy, you may not have as many pests anyway. But as long as you keep it clean, you should be fine.